Okay, so today is June 13th, 2023. Um, my name is Roy Mangelli, and this video is going to be about my experience having a heart attack. 4 years ago, I had a heart attack, and I wish I would have chronicalized this. I wasn't really making any video or YouTube videos at that time, but I wish I would have done it 4 years ago. But I think it's kind of important. And I think it's kind of important that I just walk you through my experiences, and hopefully somebody else doesn't live through this like I did, and hopefully somebody this helps. If it just helps one person, I'd be happy. Um, Regardless, so here goes. So in 2018, which 2019, so it's 4 years. It's been 4 years now. Basically, I was 56 years old. I was biking about 50 miles per week. Not 50 miles per week. I was doing about 20 miles, 22 miles a day on a pedal bike, and I was doing that 4 days a week. So I was getting somewhere 80 to 100 miles a week on a bike. I was down 155. I was pretty lean. I was doing a lot of intermittent fasting at the time. And I was also on keto. And that keto really, I think keto is what got to me, but I really don't know. Um, what ended up happening was about a week before I had my heart attack, or maybe I had multiple heart attacks and I simply didn't know it, was that I woke up. I had a real spicy meal one night, and I woke up at about 2 o'clock in the morning, and my chest was just burning. I got up, I walked around, I went back to sleep, and it went away. Um, that's kind of scared me. So what I did is I went to a company, I think it was called Bloodline, or I don't have the exact name. But if you're anywhere near my age, and I'm 60 years of age, actually 59, I'll be 60 in about 6 weeks. Um, if you're anywhere near my age, you're getting bombarded with mail from these testing clinics that say we'll test your probability of having a heart attack, and that's exactly what I did. I think I paid at the time a couple hundred, 250 for it, and what they did is they checked the blood pressure between my ankles and my wrists. They checked my they did a they did a sonogram of my heart, and then they did cholesterol. They actually did a lipid panel for me. So about a week, 8 days later, I get this back, and basically, if off the top of my head, I think my testosterone was not testosterone, my cholesterol, total cholesterol was about 155 at the time. And again, I was 56 years of age. Most of the markers that they put said that my probability of having a heart attack was very low. So I took that and put it away in a file cabinet in my brain somewhere, and I completely forgot about it. A few days later, I'm at the gym, and I was doing one arm dumbbell presses. So I take about 50 pounds at that time, 40, 50. I actually was doing more at that time, and I would do one arm dumbbell presses. And I think by the time I got to my second set, I got this burning sensation in my chest right here, really, really bad. It was just from here to here. Um, and it just burned. Um, but I thought that my probability of having a heart attack was very, very low. So what I did is I actually I thought it was what do you say, indigestion, that burning sensation from your sternum to right here. So what I did is I went and got myself some antacid tablets, carried them around with me, and each time I went to the gym, almost without fail, it was happening. I think there's a term for it. I don't remember what the term was, but it means that, and I actually read this at the time. When if you have a if you're sitting down watching TV and you're relaxing and you're not exerting yourself and you get that burning sensation, that's not good. But if you get that burning sensation while doing extreme exercises or moderate exercises. Not good at either, but it's supposed to be you're stressing your heart and your heart's having to work a lot harder. So um, I still didn't think I had a problem. Um, and I had all the markers, all the signs. A few more days later, I'm in front of my classroom. At the time, I was teaching seventh grade math, and I was having some behavior problems. And boy, I was really stressed out over those behavior problems. And in the middle of class, I just couldn't I could not. I was in rough condition. So I immediately texted my supervisor and said, "Hey, I can't do this. I need somebody to come to my classroom." I went to the nurse's office. They checked my blood pressure. Sign should have been there again because I think my blood pressure was 210 over like 150. So pretty scary stuff. Um, but I just closed my eyes and I just relaxed and it went away. I went back. I taught the rest of the school day. Life's going good. So what I'm about to tell you is almost comical. So again, everybody's experience is a little bit different, but man, if you're in your upper 40s, 50s, you really need to pay attention to this. So on the day of my heart attack, I got on a bike and I was doing my typical 22-mile bike ride. I could do that in an hour and a half. And I'd gone 11 miles. My phone had rung. I um, stopped the bike. I answered. I'd actually got a telephone call from my brother at that time. We talked for about 5 or 10 minutes. Felt great. And then I get on the bike and I biked another. I got to the 21 mile mark. I had about an hour and a half, a mile and a half to get home. And I just, that burning sensation was just unbelievable. So I put the bike down. I couldn't go on and I sat down. I put my head between my knees, and I rocked back and forth. And it just finally got it to relax, so it was reasonable. It took me about an hour to make a mile distance on my bike home, whereas 22 miles would take an hour and a half. It took me an hour to do a mile. So I get home, and all I'm thinking is, because I feel like my markers for having a heart attack were very low. So what I did is I got home because I wanted to get home to get to the antacid um, tablets, and I did. I took the antacid tablets, and on a scale of 1 to 10, it was about an 8. It was just I was rough. I was in so much pain. I jumped in the bathtub and I sat in hot water, just trying to get my thoughts together and make the pain stop. So this is really, it's almost comical, um, if it wasn't so serious. So I think it was Labor Day weekend or Memorial Day weekend. I don't remember which one it was, but it was a holiday weekend. This was on a Sunday. For about 6 hours, the just pain, 6 to 8 hours, it just wouldn't go away. So it's now 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening, and I'm looking to see if I can't find a doctor that'll visit with me on Monday. And then I realized, going through all my documents, that I have a teledoctor. And I well up sometimes when I think about this. So I called a teledoctor and I said, "Here are the symptoms." And he said, "You're having a heart attack." And I said, "No, I got myself checked 2 weeks ago and my cholesterol's low, my body weight's low, I'm in real good physical condition. And they did a sonogram a gram on me. My blood pressure is right where it's supposed to be." And he said, "You're having a heart attack. And if I'm wrong, no big deal. But if I'm right, it is a big deal." So oh, I want to digress with this. Before calling Taylor Doctor, I finally said, "You know what?" And this is the comical part and the sad part at the same time. I said, "All right, I'm going to give up. I'm going to go to an emergency room." So I drive down to the emergency room. It was one of those smaller clinics, those private ones that are not private, smaller clinics they have on the corner here in Texas. They've got them all over the place. And I think they're called urgent care or something like that. So I walk in And pragmatic me, I walked up and I said, look, I think I've got the worst case of indigestion ever, but I want to make sure I'm not having a heart attack. I've got a $3,000 um, copay, or I forgot what it's called, $3,000 copay before my insurance kicks in. I said, oh, at that time, I think it was 7,000 because I was in there for school. So it's $7,000. I said, I'm not going to bankrupt myself over um, indigestion. How much is it going to cost me? How much will I is it going to cost me to get myself checked out? And they said, we can't tell you that because if we do, we're liable or blah blah blah. I did not know that. Um, so typical me, I said, I'm not paying that kind of money. I'm a school teacher. I'm not going to go broke doing this. Didn't realize I could have went dead doing this. And so I got back in my car and I drove home. Rocked for another 6 hours and just massive pain. Finally got on the phone to realize I had teledoctor. I didn't realize I had teledoctor. And the teledoctor says, you're having all the symptoms of a heart attack. And I said, that doesn't make sense. I'm in really good physical shape. I mean, I'm gonna exercise now. He said, go check yourself out. So I got back in my car and I drove to that very same clinic and I said, please check me. Within 10 minutes, they came back and said, you're having a heart attack. Um, and then at that point, they threw me in an ambulance and they rushed me to an emergency room where they put in within, I don't know, within an hour, they had put in two stents into me. When I woke up, which was really interesting, I woke up and they told me that had put two stents in me, that I had, I don't, because it's been 4 years and I should have probably done some research and to go back to refresh myself. But the left, um, I did not have a major artery blockage. I had a smaller that branches off the major artery to a smaller one that still goes to the left ventricle. And it was blocked. It was almost completely blocked. Um, and they the way they know you're having a heart attack is they do a couple things. They do an EKG, it's one of them, and the other one is they do a blood test on you, and they try to find out your body when your heart starts to die. It starts making all these kind of this protein. I don't recall what it was, and mine was completely off the charts. So I think I had been having a heart attack or mini heart attacks for a period of time, and it was pretty scary. I could have died. Clearly, it could have died. But more importantly, I think a portion of my heart died. Now, we're going 4 years forward here. When I came out of the surgery, they had me on what's called a refraction ejection um, counter, or whatever. It's a machine, and it checks how much pre- pressure your your heart is pushing out of that left ventricle. How much flow is going out? A typical healthy person is anywhere between 50 and 54. Mine at the time, right after the heart attack, was 50. So that was really, really good. Um, I've had almost no health issues. Within 4 or 5 days, I was back in the gym. Long distance biking within a week, and I haven't had any problems since. But I'm at 4 years right now. I do watch what I eat. Um, all I can say is please, 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 if you're in your 40s and 50s and you got that burning between between your sternum, and it's not something that you normally have, you need to get yourself checked. That's all I got, but I thought I hope this helps somebody. I hope you all don't laugh too hard at my ignorance, and that's it. That's all I got.